Hello everyone, it's Justine. Today I'm going to be showing you 5 different cards using the Home Sweet Quilt collection by Becca Feakin. And I have 3 different dies and 1 stamp set. So the stamp set is called Quilty Hug Sentiments. And it's full of a whole bunch of sentiments that are all about quilting, friendship, and I found them very sweet. And I used quite a few of them on my projects here. And I also have the quilted stained glass window die, which looks like this, and the layered windmill, which I will show you at the end because I have those 2 finished and I just am going to reveal them at the end. And then I also have the log cabin and flower mini quilt, so I will show you that with this one. But I'm going to finish these off first with this blue one, and then I have 2 more over here on the left that I will bring in at the very end. Let's just get right into it. So when I was crafting and making all of my quilted elements, I had a ton of little pieces, and it was kind of fun to put the die cuts all together and to kind of create my own quilt. I've never done quilting myself, but I don't think it's quite the craft for me, but I think that it was fun to make these mini quilts for these cards. And like I said before about the sentiments, I found the sentiments to be very sweet, and I did try to pull in different ink colors today. I found myself kind of in a rut with ink colors, just honestly just pulling for this black every time I make a card, and I wanted to try some of my inks out. So that I had in my stash, I guess. So this one is Faded Jeans from Distress Ink. I like the little cubes just to test out the color, see if I like it. And I know Faded Jeans is a very popular ink color. I gave it a try and I thought that it matched my paper pretty well. And this die cut piece here, you can make 4 of them and make a circle. I think that would be very pretty. Although I just wanted to add a little corner because I really wanted to use the sentiment that had 5 lines of text here. I thought that that was kind of unique. I have not really seen a whole lot of stamp sentiments that are like that. I think it maybe was meant to go inside of a card, but I think that it looks pretty good on the front. So I'm pretty pleased with this one, and I'm going to move on to my next one. This one I made with the stained glass die, and well, let's see, the technical name is Quilted Stained Glass Window. So that was with the same die as this one. But if you can see here, we'll put it a little closer, you can tell that the pieces have the stitched die on the edge. And for this one, I just used the black frame windows and I glued it on top of a white piece of paper. Then I took my Copic markers and I colored in each of the shapes just to make a little pattern, and then I took glossy accents and put that right on top of the colored areas, so it really does look like a stained glass window. I hope that the light's catching it so you can see. I think it's doing a pretty good job. So anyway, that is the look of my stained glass window. The only thing that I'm not really like driving on, I guess, is the circle. I feel like I should have maybe left out this little piece that I added on here just to make that circle just be a circle, but you know, you live and you learn. So for the sentiment on this card, I'm kind of sad because I got this sentiment in the advent calendar and I lost the happy die and I just have the birthday die. So I used it on this for this card and I totally lost it, so it's in my stash somewhere. But that happy birthday die was from day 4 of the advent calendar. But I thought that it would look kind of cute to put it on the card, kind of like that. And I did add a little bit of some scrap cardstock on this side because my window area, you can see, is kind of thick and I didn't want the sentiment to kind of sag down. So that's basically why. But let's just grab some liquid glue and glue on my sentiment. And of course I'm grabbing Barely Art because it's my fave. And that finishes off this card. I don't think I'm going to add any extra embellishments just because I think that the stained glass window die kind of speaks for itself. So that is that second finished card. Now I'm going to work on this one, which was part of the log cabin, and my friend who really introduced me to card making is now getting into quilting. So she was showing me a quilt that she had been working on, and she said log cabin, and I was a little confused, and I thought, well, that just might be the shape of it. I should have just asked her, honestly, but I did not. But this is a log cabin, I guess. So sometimes with the quilty pieces, the one that she had really did look like a log cabin. It had like lines going toward a corner that had a square on it. But I'm sure that there's many different designs, but the log cabin I think is just the square. I could be wrong. If you're a quilter, let me know in the comments. I could just look it up, I suppose, but there's no time for that when there's crafting to do. So I've been layering on a lot of my different cardstocks. I have a lot of cardstock that I got from my mom, who used to do Stampin' Up! And Close to My Heart. I also have a lot of paper from Spellbinders and Hobby Lobby. So there's paper kind of all over. So I thought, why not use it and make some layers? And again, like I said, I've been stuck in the black ink rut. So I kind of decided after stamping out these sentiments that enough was enough. I need to try some of my other things. So this is the black, and honestly it was a little too bold with just the black without this black border. So that's why I pulled in that black cardstock for the border. And it did make it a little less harsh, but it just was a lot. So there's that. I also thought about turning it sideways, but I would need a smaller sentiment. So I think I will be doing that on my next project with this die, because I think that when it is turned, it looks very sweet and a little elegant in a way. So we'll see how that looks on my next project. But I'm going to add both of these sentiments onto the bottom. I tried stamping them together and I did not like the way that it looked really, so I decided to put them, oh boy, that's crooked. I decided to put them on the card, both of them, but to put them on as separate sentiments just because it looked better to me. But you know, you could try it some other way if you're thinking. You could also stamp that inside the card and just have the quilt be on the front. That quilt is very pretty, and by itself it would be enough. You know, I think I want to move this up. Luckily I didn't push down too hard. Sorry about the train. I can't do anything about that. I just want to make sure that there's an even border of pink around the quilt. That looks better to me. Okay, that's card number 3 all finished. I'm liking the way this is going. Okay, next I want to show you 2 more cards that I made. I'm going to save my favorite for last, so we'll just go in with this one. Now, this I made first before my stained glass card, and I liked the way it turned out, but I wanted to do that rainbow one. But I love the cool colors of this, and again, I left that circle open this time. I closed it on my second one, but I wish I would have left it open, but whatever. It is what it is. And with this ink color here, I used the Tropical Tango from Simon Hurley. I thought that matched my Copic colors very well. For my Copic colors, I just kind of stuck to some blue greens and just kind of played around with a little bit of shading, not too much, but just to kind of keep it simple. And again, I like the design of this half circle. I think it looks really stunning, especially with the black and white border here. So it's kind of 2 different takes on it. We have a stamp sentiment, a die cut sentiment, rainbow, monochromatic. So it's kind of fun to play around with color, with different elements. So give it a shot. I didn't put any glossy accents on this one yet. I just might seeing the results from this one. I think that it's just stunning. So maybe I will do that before I put this card away in my stash, but we will see. Now this next card is one of my favorite cards I think I probably have ever made. To me, I think it's just very pretty, and it's all paper. No stamp sentiments at all. I don't know if it's just the color choices that I have here, or if it is the die itself. It probably is the die because it's just stunning. This is the layered windmill die. I think that it is just gorgeous. The one thing that I would change if I could, but at the time I could not, but I before was going to put this darker purple paper behind these big triangles, but I ended up gluing down the triangles before I could even think about it. But that is life. I might have to make another one of these square cards. I thought that this is just so pretty, and you know, I had a sentiment that I was going to put on, but I think it just kind of takes away from the beauty of the paper and the die cut itself. So I think I will end up putting a sentiment in the inside of this one. I might even pull out this larger sentiment that I have here and put it in the center, but I just think that that is such a stunning die. I think you could do it in many different colors. I think that in yellow this would just look gorgeous, so I want to try making a yellow one, but it really isn't that much to cut out. I think that having the big die, let me pull it out here, but having the big die that is the octagon shape really does help kind of place all the pieces where they need to go. So it makes that frame with these two dies together, and that creates that light purple frame, and then this one gives you all the shapes. Something that I noticed when I was making a lot of these quilty cards is that when you're die cutting, you're going to use the same kind of colors. So you could make maybe even a set of 4 or 5 with the same kind of color tones, because you're going to have all these pieces from the quilts, and you could even give that as a gift, a set of 5, a set of 6 cards if you chose 6 different color papers. And really it's not too much trouble because you're just running it through your die cutting machine. It's doing all the work for you. Speaking of die cutting machines, I did just want to say that this one in particular was a great die to use my 8-inch platinum on, because that extra 2 inches really just helped make the paper not slide around. You can see that the die is, let's see, about 5 inches wide. So a typical die cutting machine is about 6 inches. That's basically the industry standard, but that 8 inches really gave me a lot of room to work with the die and the paper. So if you're interested in the 8-inch platinum, I will link that down below. Or if you're just looking for the basic one, the 6-inch, I will link that down below as well. And I will also link the Barely Art liquid glue, all of the quilty dies, and the stamp set. There's even more dies than just the ones that I worked with here in Becca Feakin's collection. So I'll just link the whole collection down below, and that will bring you to the Spellbinders website so you can see all the other dies that she has. But they're just beautiful, and I know that any of these cards would make someone smile, so give it a shot, and let me know in the comments which one was your favorite. I think the purple, again, was my favorite, but they're all just really special in their own way, I guess. But anywho, I hope you're having a great December here. It's getting closer to Christmas every single day. I just am getting excited. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Get to craft soon, and subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and you can see more videos like this one in your future. If you liked the video, please hit the like button. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.